We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Thursday, March 12th here in Seoul. I'm Jin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Kyun.
Good morning.
Good morning. Also Fabius with us.
Great to be here.
Great to have you. And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So as we head toward the end of the work week, many people are already thinking about how they want to spend their time off. For some, that means planning their next getaway. And travel is one way to experience something new, whether it's exploring a new culture or simply taking a break from the daily routine. So today, we're going to talk about traveling. So, Hyun, do you enjoy traveling? Do you have any plans to visit a country outside of Korea this year?
I'm really excited to talk about today's topic because it's, traveling. Who doesn't love traveling?
Right, yeah.
We all love it.
I love traveling, but as much as I love to stay at home and relax during my break times, I also love traveling within the country and, of course, overseas. At the end of the year, I plan to hopefully to travel somewhere in Thailand, most probably Chiang Mai for at least 1 month. Now,
That's a whole month, wow.
Yeah, well, that's pretty long, I know. But I can only do this because I'm a freelancer. And I've never actually experienced staying overseas for over, I guess, like in one city for over a week. And I think it'll be a perfect opportunity for me to actually, go on a getaway for that long outside of home. Because you guys would definitely agree with me, all trips seem to be like really short. And it's a shame when you have to go back home, you're like, oh, I want to stay longer. But staying in one city for 1 month will be, I think, there's plenty of time to really experience the culture, the food, and the overall vibe being outside of home for that long. So, I mean, fingers crossed, it's part of the plan. It's in the planning stages. I haven't bought the tickets yet. But once I do buy the tickets, I'll know I'll be going for sure. But for now, I'm just trying to keep myself motivated, work as much as I can, save up for that month.
I feel like as long as you get the chance or opportunity, you should definitely do that when you're young, especially.
When I'm young.
Right.
when it's possible.
It's not easy to find the opportunity to do that
Exactly.
either. So that sounds really exciting. What about you, Fabian?
Well, I want to join. I want to join if I can. I mean, who doesn't love traveling? I feel like traveling is one of the best ways to divide moments in your life and kind of like have an archive of all of the things that you experience. And in my case, even living in South Korea as a foreigner, it feels like traveling sometimes. There's a lot of places that I haven't explored, but most of all, I'm actually traveling to Thailand in a few weeks.
What a
to
coincidence.
Bangkok. Yes,
Lucky
big
you.
coincidence. And I'm so ready to give up the longpadding and the cold that I had here in Korea because this winter has been quite tough. And so I'm ready for the swimsuits and the sunglasses.
I mean, it's still pretty cold, which is why I feel like a lot of people will relate to how a tropical getaway sounds really good. So yeah, we're going to talk more about this, but first, let's take a look at the screen. Traveling has always been popular, but in recent years, it's become something many people actively make time and set aside money to do. For the younger generations in particular, travel is often seen as an important life experience rather than just an occasional luxury. Today on News Generation, we take a closer look at why millennials and Gen Z travel more than previous generations, what they value most when planning a trip, and some useful tips for overseas travelers visiting Korea. As we just saw in the video, travel has become an increasingly important part of life for many millennials and Gen Zs who are prioritizing new experiences and meaningful moments from their trips. And new data also show which destinations around the world are catching the attention of young travelers. So, Kyun, what travelers are topping the travel wish list for young travelers? Is South Korea on it?
So, yes, to answer your question, yes, they are. A leading Hong Kong-based technology travel company called Klook conducted a survey asking young people around the world where their favorite travel destinations are. So let's take a look at the screen to find out the results. Coming in at first place was Japan, followed by Australia, Singapore, the Middle East, and South Korea at 5th. Now, South Korea ranked 8th in 2025 in the 2025 survey, but climbed 3 places in just 1 year. Moreover, among young Gen Z respondents alone, Korea ranked 3rd following Japan and Australia. Now, respondents from major countries including Indonesia, the Philippines, and Thailand and Vietnam selected South Korea as their top destination they hope to visit, again highlighting the increasing popularity of South Korea among young tourists.
I think it's quite notable that Korea has climbed the rankings so quickly, especially among Gen Zs. And the survey also looked at what young travelers value most when planning a trip. So what do people say is most important to them when they choose the destination they want to go to?
According to that same survey that Ki-hoon just mentioned, apparently MZs prioritize eating and drinking the most. So according to the same survey, as we can see in the results, those votes accounted to 50% of the total votes. And right after, we had local chores and visiting natural spots, especially those that might not be here anymore after a few years, and both accounted to 42% and 41% of the votes respectively. Some other priorities that scored a little bit lower were cultural and art festivals with 39% of the votes, and then healthy relaxation at 31%. And it also seems like MCs are really prioritizing having individual experiences and trying to really get in touch with the culture and experiencing local activities and local food. Basically things that they cannot get when they are in their own home country. So we are seeing a little bit of a shift in priorities and things that people enjoy doing when traveling. So it's not about just going to this very famous spots and taking a picture and sharing it online. It's more about getting in touch with the culture. And as Ki-hoon said, maybe spending a longer time gives you the opportunity to really live how the country explores itself as a whole culture in a different sense.
Right, so it sounds like for young people, travel is more about now getting that more immersive experience. So we also want to hear directly from our viewers what they thought as well. So we ran a poll on Yadeng News YouTube channel asking, what are your criteria for choosing a travel destination? So here's what the results showed. The majority, or 41% of respondents, said budget was the most important factor. This was followed by cultural experiences at 26% and safety at 21%, while 12% said the natural environment was their top consideration. So it's not actually that surprising that obviously budget comes first, especially as travel costs remain high worldwide. So while affordability matters most, travelers still want meaningful experiences once they get there. And to gain a broader perspective on this, we're going to speak with a travel content creator. And that conversation is coming up right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Majid from Pakistan, who creates travel content about his experiences in Korea. So hello, Majid. Thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's always good to be back at Arirang, and hi to Ki-hoon and Fabio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Majid, you really are the perfect person for this topic. So what do you personally enjoy the most about traveling, and what made you become a travel YouTuber specifically focused on Korea?
Okay, so like as Gi-hoon was saying, it's one of those topics I can speak for hours, but since we don't have enough time, so I would stick to 1 or 2 minutes answer. So first of all, why I love traveling, Fabio was saying the same, who wouldn't love traveling? For me, it's I always say, the best stories are found between the pages of our passport. So, every time after travel, every time I go look back on those travel memories, it makes me feel really happy. So I enjoy, I love meeting people, experiencing new culture, and we all have a lot of prejudice. So when you actually travel, when you actually meet people, you learn a lot. And it's one of those things that you spend money and it makes you rich. So these are one of the reasons I love travel. It makes me happy. It makes me learn a lot about the world. And about Korea, Korea, I've been living here for 10 years and there are so many things in Korea, I would say does not matter what time of the year you come to Korea, whether it's spring, autumn, fall, winter, summer, there is always something going on. And there is so many things to show to people. So from let's say from DMZ to Jeju-do, from Ulleungdo, Dokdo and Mokpo, I have traveled a lot, and I started sharing my love for Korea and my favorite travel destinations online, and people were like, wow, Majid, show us more, we are coming to Korea in 1 year, we are coming into Korea in 5 years, so please keep on sharing more. So that's why I kept on creating travel related content in Korea, and I'm in love with Korea, and I hope right now Korea is at number 5, and I hope South Korea will be number 1 destination for all the young people in next year or so.
Majid, thanks to you, I think Korea can take the first spot, the most wanted travel spots. By the way, you're dressed very nice. You look like a pilot who just traveled all around the world. Anyway, why do you think millennials and Gen Zs are especially drawn to traveling itself?
Okay, so if we generally talking about traveling overall, Fabio was saying, a lot of people want to escape the hustle and bustle of, life. A lot of people, young millennials and Gen Z, could get stressed also, but now, since they are connected with the world, they have Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. They can see the places where they want to go. So it's in order to, first of all, in order to feel less stressed, in order to escape from the hustle and bustle, they love traveling a lot. Secondly, for immersive experiences, they want to go, instead of seeing some place 100 times online, they would rather go and see that place in person. So that's why they travel a lot. And if we talk about traveling in Korea, why millennials and Gen Z are coming to Korea, I would say definitely Hallyu, Korean, K-pop, K-dramas are one of the reasons. And I was looking at survey, almost 1 in 3 international visitors who are coming to Korea, they are under 30, they are young people. And one of the reasons are definitely Hallyu and K-pop. They want to see the MV that what BTS MV that was shot in some places. They want to see their favorite K-drama filming location. So a lot of times they come to Korea because of Hallyu wave. A lot of times they come to Korea because of Korean food, in the survey, food and drinks was number one, criteria. So a lot of people, they see Korean food and drinks online on their K-dramas, so they want to eat those food in Korea. And Korea has a lot of good restaurants, a lot of cafes. So a lot of millennials, they are coming to Korea a lot because of Hallyu wave, Korean food and Korean culture, and because of good people like you guys.
Can I ask a very quick question? What's
Sure.
your favorite Korean food?
My favorite Korean food is 닭갈비. I
닭갈비.
literally
Oh.
can eat it every day.
Yeah, 닭갈비 is very good. It's very, very good. And I'm also very happy that you're able to share these different sides of Korea with other people, and also these ideas that you have about traveling, because they're very beautiful. And how would you say it would be the perfect way for people to discover their perfect travel destination?
Okay, so again, if we are talking about traveling abroad to other countries, I would say first of all, just don't go where everyone is going. First of all, have what think about it, what you actually want to experience. Do you like foods? Do you like museums? If everyone is saying this place is very popular, just don't go with the flow. No, you have to first of all see what you actually like. So do a bit of give yourself a bit of time and see what you actually like. Secondly, there are platforms like the survey we were sharing from Klook. So Klook, Trip, these are some of the platforms that keep on sharing a lot of good places. So that's how you can decide where you want to go. And if we talk about traveling to Korea, I would say there are platforms like Visit Korea, Visit Korea Committee, or Korea Tourism Organization, Seoul Tourism Organization, Visit Seoul, STO, Visit Jeonju. So these are all the platforms that keep on sharing a lot of festivals happening in Korea and in specific cities. So please try to follow them, and then you can keep on let's say, for example, Korea Tourism Organization, they keep on sharing what are the festivals that will be coming in this year. So follow those accounts, and that's how you will learn when to travel, what will be the best places to go, and then you can decide and make a perfect plan for travel in Korea or abroad. And by the way, I just came back from Thailand, so Gihun
No
was
way.
like, we'll be going for 1 year. Fabio wants to go, and I just came back last week. I was in Thailand too.
We should plan a trip together next time then.
Okay, we should
Yeah, we
go.
definitely should. It's gonna be.
Sounds good,
Let's do
sounds good.
news generation team in Thailand, from
Sounds
Thailand.
amazing. Well, thank you so much for this informative answer, all these informative answers, Majid.
Thank you so much, Sujin. Thank you so much, Kyun and Fabio. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so
And
much.
looking
Hope to
forward
see
to
you
see you
again.
again, and happy traveling. Kyun, we would love to see your stories on Instagram when you will be in Thailand. Keep
We'll
sharing.
upload them. Okay, thank you,
All
Madrid.
right.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a lovely day.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.
So we've just spoken with a travel creator about why he enjoys traveling, why the younger generations in particular love to travel, and his personal tips on how to find the perfect destination. But there are also broader social and economic reasons behind this growing travel trend. So why are younger generations in particular traveling more than previous generations, Kyun?
That's a very good question because there is a sad kind of truth behind the reasons why young people travel more.
Okay.
It's because compared to our previous generations, due to globally high inflation, rising real estate prices, millennials and Gen Zs feel it's a lot more difficult to save up money to purchase a house and accumulate assets through various means of investment. So they feel it's better to actually use that money to just travel around the world to buy experiences and memories instead of sacrificing those moments to save up for something bigger like a house, a car, or investing more into one's future. Furthermore, a sense of insecurity has grown a lot bigger among the younger generation, so they experience burnout much faster than our parents' generation. Hence, they choose to escape from the harsh reality, the hustle and bustle, by going on a trip to kind of take their mind off work and find a source of relaxation for that moment.
I think I was also planning a trip towards the end of the year, but maybe I should,
It keeps you motivated, it keeps you going, it makes you
does.
like do extra gigs
let's hold on
to save up more.
Let's hold on to something. That really shows how travel has become more about experiences and long-term possessions. And travel can also be a way for the younger generations to express their identity, like Majid just said earlier. Like it's a way to really find out what's really important to you. So how has it become a way for people to express themselves, Fabio?
Well, I think you framed it very well. It's about buying an experience. So when you do so, you obviously want to make it an experience that caters to your own personality and the things that you like. So with all of the diverse options that we have, we obviously tend to focus on the things that we really want to do that we cannot do on our home country. It's a way of evading our day by day. And so because of that, some people like to do adventurous things like trekking through mountains or camping in the desert. Some people prefer more romantic spots or emotional destinations, like for example going to hot springs that are Nordic, or maybe even doing a temple stay in Korea might be a good option. Some people plan trips around major sport events or even the concert of their favorite artists. I, for example, love the sea, so I always tend to prioritize destinations that have a tropical vibe or beautiful water, and it's always about finding things that are aesthetically pleasing and kind of fit my Pinterest mood board. So I always have like those pins and ideas of the things that I want to see. And so I feel like everyone is able to customize their travel agenda depending on what they like. So it's more about individuality rather than just exploring what everyone has already seen.
Right, I think that's what really stands about the travel trends that we see today. And so with that in mind, let's talk about the destinations right here in Korea. So what Korean destinations would you recommend to travelers?
So the most recent place that I visited outside of Seoul metropolitan area is actually Yeosu. It's a port city located in Jeollanam-do province, and it's actually more commonly known to Koreans thanks to the big hit song by the Korean singer Jang Bum-jun. The song title 여수 밤바다 or 여수 night sea. Now, although I was there during the daytime, I didn't really get the chance to see the night sea. I was very surprised at the delicious food I actually had. I only had one meal. It was actually called 세조개 삼합. Now, sejoge is like egg cockles or bird clams because of the shape of the clam, and brisket on top of kimchi. So all three ingredients are cooked in just one hot grill pan and eaten with three ingredients stacked on top of each other. Now, all the flavor just bursts inside your mouth, and every time you chew, like the juiciness, the savoriness, and the kimchi as well, everything just mixes together. And I was just so, I was like astonished at how beautiful it was, how nice it was, and it's very affordable. And because of the location of Yeosu, like the ingredients are very fresh in that area. So, I mean, if you do have plans to travel to Yeosu, it's a must try.
Well, my mouth is watering. I'll be planning on my trip to Yeosu now. So what about you, Fabio?
Well, I work a lot in the Gyeongsang-bukdo area, so I
I see,
always
I see.
recommend places like Pohang or Gyeongju. I feel like it's a great way of escaping the busy lifestyle that we have here in Seoul, and the food is also great. I would recommend, for example, sambap. Sambap in Gyeongju is very, very nice. And then my absolute favorite spot would have to be Jeju Island because of the tropical vibe, and I was very surprised because I didn't have that very high expectations when I went there, but actually the water is very crystal clear, and it was one of the most beautiful spots that I've ever been to.
Right, so what then tips would you give to travelers who are visiting Korea?
For those who plan to actually visit Seoul, it's a pretty large city once you actually start to travel, and each neighborhood has a very different atmosphere. So To give you a few tips, if you plan to go to Ulchiro, it has a very retro and hip vibe. If you go to Gangnam, it's a very high-tech, bustling district, very busy. If you go to Seocheon, like you see on the screen, it's quite quiet at times and full of traditional charm. Now, Hongdae has a fashionable and youthful energy, and Seongsu is known for its many big pop-up stores and curated boutiques. Now, if you don't have time to explore everything and everywhere, it's best to choose areas block by block and visit the neighborhoods that match your personal interests, like we talked about. And as a local myself, my go-to places would be Busan and Jeju-do Island. Why not?
So there's a plethora of places to visit right here in Korea. And it's fascinating how each neighborhood offers such a different vibe here in Seoul. And beyond where to go, technology can also make traveling around Korea a lot easier. So are there any useful apps that travelers who are coming to Korea should download, Fabio?
A lot of them, and I would definitely recommend people to plan ahead their trip because there's a lot of different options that they have. And Korea is very well known for having very good IT, and that shows on their platforms and services that they offer. So for example, one big recommendation would be downloading the app maps that we have here in Korea instead of the international ones, because they will give you much more detailed explanations about the places, and it's going to be much easier to move around. And then you also have other apps that offer, well, free things or even coupons or discounts. I do have to say that one of the things that many visitors and foreigners should be aware of is that many of the good services that you can take advantage of when you're in Korea require you to have a Korean telephone number. So it might be a little bit hard at first, but there's actually a lot of opportunities for foreigners and other people from all around the world that Koreans don't really get. So there's a lot of immersive experiences and cultural events and even like one-day classes that only foreigners can access for a very low price or even for free. So I would definitely recommend to check the web pages from the government or web pages that offer this type of programs, because getting, for example, a local tour for free in South Korea while wearing a hanbok would be like a perfect experience that you cannot really replicate in other countries.
Right, so from chasing new experiences to finding a mental escape, travel means different things to different people. But for many young travelers, it's becoming an important part of how they live and explore the world. And with Korea also rising as a popular destination, the country is attracting more attention from travelers around the globe. And as interest grows, we'll be watching to see if Korea continues climbing the list of must-visit destinations. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 in Korea time with more stories and discussions. Big thanks to Q.
Thanks for having me.
For coming in. Also Fabio.
Thank you for having me too.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. Perhaps this will inspire you to start planning your next trip, hopefully to Korea. We are News Generation.